You're listening to The Burning Truth. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes. I'm your host, Matt Burns, and of course, as always, with me I have John Blow.
The voice of reason. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Definitely the voice of reason today.
Right. Are we good this time? Is everything working
time.
according to plan? Okay.
All I'll
For
say
those of
is,
you who aren't aware,
the man just kept me sane.
Well, there you go. Got to be good for something. Right, this is take 2 tonight. We very nearly weren't on, but all the gremlins have been squashed, and here we go with what is officially the Fast Lane predictions, and let's talk about everything related to Fast Lane edition of The Burning Truth.
Correct. And the good thing about it is we've got some topics to discuss, but it's not going to be very, very heavy this week. More so, the reason why this week's episode is going to be a bit more shorter, hopefully, is because of basically busy schedules, as we keep repeating. However, we've just literally found out within 5 to 10 minutes ago that WWE have decided to make a change on time schedules.
Yeah, I mean, we were used to the whole idea of the daylight savings time, meaning the show was on at midnight rather than 1 a.m.
Which means
apparently they're not even doing that this time.
The pre-show usually starts at 11. Usually.
Yes, but this time it's not even that late. Oh no! The pre-show starts tonight at 10 p.m. and the show itself at 11. Fantastic for those of us here in the UK that want to go to bed at a reasonable hour, but a bit of a nightmare if you're trying to do a podcast and it leaves you only an hour to cram it all in.
Yeah, and all I'll say to you is with a broadcast, stable internet connection is also handy.
Indeed. Definitely.
Because literally, 15 minutes before we actually spoke, we had an entire internet. Bloor didn't, I did.
Yeah, luckily, ladies and gentlemen, due to the wonders of technology, we are in different locations. My internet was fine, but the host of the podcast and the person whose internet we need for it to go ahead, Mr. Matt Burns, has decided to go royally on the fritz.
Pretty much.
It's back now, and we're fine, touch wood, but, right, enough of the excuses for why it nearly didn't happen. We're here, it is happening, so let's crack on.
If at any point you hear any crackling, please just send us any messages. We will apologise if there's any errors with the sound or anything. That is possibly because we've just managed to get a stable connection for this to happen, and we do apologise for the inconvenience. But anyway,
I think today is the day for it, because outside of wrestling, anyone that was watching the IndyCar race from St. Petersburg earlier will know that they had nearly as many technical issues, and for about 20 minutes in the middle of the race, I saw more of the Sky Sports "we apologise for the inconvenience" sign than I did of the actual race. So let's hope that doesn't happen here.
Ouch. The only difference is we don't have a sign like that. I may have to go into it.
Yeah. We just have awkward silences.
Anyway, let's move on. One topic that we've got, it's I say one topic. It's a topic from last week, actually.
Yes, it's a topic from last week, which occurred not long after we'd recorded last week, I believe, but obviously we haven't had a chance to talk about it until now, but it's something that needs mentioning.
Which is, we mentioned a few weeks ago, we mentioned recently that Ric Flair wasn't on Raw.
Yes.
Ric Flair was on Raw, but the week that he was there, we noticed that, A, his daughter wasn't there. Why the hell not?
Yep.
And that there was somebody else missing.
He was also bereft of possibly his longest-lasting friend in the wrestling industry, Mr. Arn Anderson.
Correct. And, as most people may know, Ric Flair and Arn Anderson.
Light. Sorry, go on.
Ric Flair and Arn Anderson go hand in hand.
Yes. But what came to light after last week's podcast may well explain the reason why Mr. Arn Anderson was not featured on the 70th birthday of Ric Flair edition of Raw, and why he may not feature again anytime soon.
Because unfortunately, as it is as current possibly record may not have been officially announced by WWE themselves. I haven't.
But it's all over the internet.
No.
Regardless.
It has been announced. I just remembered. It has been officially announced that Arn Anderson has been released from WWE.
From his role as a backstage producer.
But most are actually saying it wasn't a release, it was more of a firing.
Yes. And the reason for that being...
One of the speculated reasons being is that at a house show, there was a bit of an incident involving Alicia Fox being intoxicated.
An altercation when Miss Fox was, what's the wrestling euphemism, in no condition to perform.
Correct. Or as other people would say, inebriated, drunk as a skunk, and absolutely bladdered.
Yes.
To put it bluntly, which straight away shouldn't be on the show. It's hazardous, it's dangerous, it's silly.
Yes, but apparently the main reason for Anderson being let go is because, in spite of the fact that Alicia Fox was approximately 14 sheets to the wind, she was allowed to compete in her scheduled match.
Which we don't actually know how that went. Which, regardless of it, supposedly when the news got back to Vince, he was absolutely livid.
He was predictably furious. Yes.
Which a lot of people can say, well, Vince could throw a hissy fit at most things, but here's the thing: that's a biggie. That is something that you do not do.
That is one of the things in this business, that you just don't do.
You don't.
So.
And the biggest thing is, what's made it worse is the fact that while Vince was arguing with Arn Anderson, Arn decided to argue back.
Which, not the wisest thing to do with Vince McMahon anyway, but when, as the situation is like it in this instance, you're obviously in the wrong, that pushes it to nuclear levels of stupidity, really.
If that is the case, that all the sources are correct and everything. But here's the thing. So there's been speculation that is one of many reasons, and that this possibly may have been coming for quite some time.
And this was possibly just the last straw.
Pretty much. And
this is, however, all just speculation, as we know. We don't know the full details, but we do know for certain that Arn Anderson has been released and, or probably more likely, fired, because this was the last straw. Do we know about an update on Alicia Fox's status?
Alicia Fox's status is the fact that WWE have actually offered her rehab, which is to everybody's knowledge, the usual stuff that they normally do in regards to it. Now, supposedly, if everyone's probably noticed that Alicia Fox hasn't been on the main shows for quite some time, and that is possibly one of the reasons why. However, the problem is that in regards to her going, she hasn't let anybody know about it. So the question is,
I see.
The worrying thing about this is Alicia Fox has gone supposedly for the rehab, but has she actually gone?
Well, we have to assume that WWE have said, right, you're an employee, so we'll pay for the rehab because we do that, but it's a condition of you remaining an employee that you go. This is a pure speculation on my part, but I would assume that is the case.
She hasn't been released, or any news involving it. It seems to be done the quiet. However, rumor has it that nobody knows if she's actually gone to the rehab and is getting better, or is off not turning up for work, which could cause more issues.
Bigger problems, yeah. Speaking just personally here, and not on behalf of The Burning Truth, I, for one, hope she goes to rehab and gets better, because nobody likes to see people suffer from that. But we'll keep you posted on that in the coming weeks. As soon as we know any more.
As much as you've just stated that is not from The Burning Truth. Personally, this is also from yourself as well. As much as a lot of people can say, well, she should be instantly fired for doing it. Yes, in some cases, some might suggest that. However, alcoholism is a very, very serious condition, and it's something quite very, very serious that needs to be looked after and properly.
Absolutely, and WWE's offer to pay for her rehab is good. As you say, alcoholism is not something that should be brushed under the carpet. If that is the issue, it's good that they're tackling it head on, and just flat out firing it and refusing to have any more to do with her because of it would probably only make the situation worse. So WWE should be commended for that, really.
Correct. Which in this case, they are actually considering her well-being, if everything is according to what has been rumoured and speculated and everything. But anyway, yes. That's all we're going to be discussing for this week, because as much as I want to, I could get onto my soapbox rant in regards to certain tag team matches.
Yes, but we do need to discuss the card for WWE Fastlane, which occurs in a little over an hour and a half.
There is one more piece of information that we do have to discuss from the previous week, which I actually thought I made a mistake on. It's a double correction.
Ooh, a rare one. Do go ahead.
Which is in regards to the current NXT champion.
I see. The current NXT champion, and now heading into, getting on for the 240th day of his reign, I believe. So it's not a surprise if we say Mr. Tommaso Ciampa. You all know he's the NXT champion.
Correct. However, his reign could be ending very, very soon.
Sadly. As we know, NXT is taped in blocks and then shown over weeks, so there was no mention of it on this week's NXT, but on the lead up to WrestleMania, potentially expect change. And not in a positive way for Tommaso Ciampa, unfortunately.
And it could be that Tommaso Ciampa may have to vacate the championship.
Which would be terrible for him, because he's been a fantastic champion and a long-serving champion as well. But needless to say, his health and well-being is number one. So if he has to vacate in order to have surgery and recover fully, then so be it.
And the reason why I said it's a double correction is because I did state last week it was his neck.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it is.
I see.
Because remember, the reason why I said it's a double correction is because I said it was his neck, then I corrected myself because it didn't state it, but it has actually come out.
I see.
It is his neck.
It is his neck, so yeah. It's essential that it's seen to as early as possible, it's fixed.
And it's a very serious one.
Yeah.
We're talking the neck injury that ended Stone Cold Steve Austin's career.
Ouch.
Edge's career. And many, many others.
That's really unfortunate. Let's hope that's not the case here. Fingers crossed. But we'll bring you more on that as we know. But
correct.
Needless to say, he'll be off as soon as he can, and we'll probably get the fallout from NXT in the coming weeks, and he'll be having surgery fairly soon, which is a real blow this close to WrestleMania, but
however, it's not,
life.
We don't know if he is actually having any time off yet, or if he's trying to push through the pain until WrestleMania. We don't know yet.
Well,
which, if he is,
we don't know.
If he is, as much as I like Tommaso Ciampa, I'd love to see him.
He'd be great at WrestleMania, but his long-term health, I think, is more important than the WrestleMania moments.
Correct.
So,
and he can have many other WrestleMania moments.
Yeah, if he has surgery and his neck heals and he has a year out and he strengthens it and comes back just as good, if not stronger, he potentially has another 10 years in which he can have many more WrestleMania moments rather than risking it until then, risking making it worse and possibly having to retire, which nobody wants.
No, nobody wants, but unfortunately, we are having to mention that, mentioning this with Tommaso Ciampa, and it is unfortunate that he has got the injury. And also, it's really unfortunate in regards to the news, especially with on the actual current events on TV. They've just sort of reconnected DIY.
Yes. Which was a potential storyline that could run throughout the summer, and even into as far as Survivor Series, possibly.
Correct.
And so, to have that taken away is a real nightmare. So we wish Tommaso Ciampa well. And, hey, here's a thought on the fly. Next week, we can play NXT Fantasy Booker and discuss what we think they might do with regards to his injury, assuming, of course, in the meantime that it isn't revealed what they're going to do.
Fingers crossed. We hope.
Yeah, because we can spend.
You know what? How would it? Even if they do reveals, we'll just do fantasy booking just in case, like how we do it anyway.
We'll do how we would do it, even if, because let's face it, it's likely to differ. So it will be a bit of fun.
Correct, but in regards to Tommaso Ciampa, we hope nothing but the best for him.
Exactly.
And everything.
Yeah, so best of luck to both Alicia Fox and him, but for very different reasons.
Correct. Now,
a brief pause and an intake of breath, and now we move on to this evening's live entertainment.
We will get onto the main topic, but one thing I want to just point out: congratulations to Paige's film.
Oh, absolutely! I went to see it at the cinema yesterday.
Absolutely, congratulations!
Piece of cinema, fantastic. Interesting side note: my mum also came with me. Never been a wrestling fan, doesn't have the first clue about it. And enjoyed it for what it was, which was a piece of entertainment.
Wow!
That just happened to revolve around wrestling. So yeah, it ticks all the boxes. Even non-wrestling fans can enjoy it.
Sorry for sounding like Owen Wilson. Wow.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I had to.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is, it's a great film, and it appeals to all audiences, not just wrestling fans. So
and
go see it, even if you're not.
Number one in the box office charts.
Which, frankly, is the least it deserves, because it's a great film.
Great film. Definitely.
We may discuss that more at length next week as well.
Correct. And as this is now our main discussion topic, which is WWE Fastlane predictions, and just on
the road to WrestleMania.
Correct. And no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to do it, but you do have to tell me what it was, because we're not in the same location.
It's to do with the fact. No, it's to do with what I discussed to you originally. What the WWE originally were, the full title of Fastlane was originally.
I see. Fair enough. What, you're not going to go there?
Oh, no.
You're going to leave that for another time. Okay, fair enough. Probably for the best. Shall we just talk about the matches then?
It is probably for the best, baby.
You had to go there.
I had to do the sweep on you. But anyway, that aside, be warned, people, that during some of these predictions, there will be, we already have got the soapbox on standby, ready and waiting.
Both of us have our respective soapboxes polished and waiting, and this could get wayward. But let's start, shall we, with the first match, as listed on the Wikipedia page for Fastlane 2019, which I have up in front of me on a screen.
And let me just state this as well. Even though what is being mentioned, the order or supposedly of Wikipedia, we may not be following that order directly from Wikipedia, and that these matches may not be in the exact order that they get presented on for WWE Fastlane.
Yeah, the order we discussed them in may not be the order they appear on the show, and of course, card is always subject to change.
Woohoo!
Right, let's start with the first of two pre-show matches, which is New Day members, Big E.
Xavier
Remember
Woods.
when he was called Big E Langston? I miss those days. And Xavier Woods against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev.
Didn't Rusev used to have a...
I believe his name used to be Alexander Rusev,
Yes.
but I could be wrong.
It was. But they
Yes.
just decided to just drop the whole Alexander.
For no apparent reason. But
Almost,
anyway,
yeah,
the
but
New
anyway,
Day versus
New Day
Shinsuke
versus
Nakamura and
Shinsuke
Rusev.
and Rusev.
Or as I like to put it, New Day versus Creative Has Nothing For You. Because what are they doing with both of these guys?
Yeah.
These two could be having a spectacular feud with each other,
Yep.
and whoever the current champion is over the, what brand are they on? SmackDown, United States Championship. But instead, they've thrown them together as a makeshift tag team, and they're fighting the New Day, who also are being wasted in this position.
Little side note.
Yep.
You may not know this. There's a new US champion.
There is a new US champion. You're going to tell me that it is Rusev, aren't you?
No.
Is it Shinsuke Nakamura?
No. It's actually on
Is
someone
it
who's
Mandy
decent.
Rose?
It's on someone who's decent.
Oh, they've put it on someone who's decent. Okay.
Samoa Joe.
You're not wrong. That's good news.
Yes, but the way they got into it was through R-Truth doing a United States Open Challenge match, which then ended up having Rey Mysterio and Andrade, and Samoa Joe into it, and Joe ended up winning.
I see. Which leads me to wonder why the other match on the pre-show, Rey Mysterio versus Andrade, isn't a triple threat also featuring Joe for the United States Championship.
Actually, where is the United States Championship on that card? Missing off the show.
There is no mention of the United States Championship on the card that I have in front of me.
And Samoa Joe is a top worker.
Top worker, he has one of the most important titles in the company, and he's not on Fastlane.
Oh, and by the way, this is his first championship since coming to the main roster.
Yes.
I hope that they don't have the United States Championship bury him.
I really do as well.
Anyway, let's get back to the original match that we were going to be discussing.
Which is the New Day versus Nakamura and Rusev.
What more can we say?
It'll be a great match.
It would be a great match. It will be. They'll work. But on a pre-show match.
Yeah. So who do we think is going to win then? Just for the sake of argument.
New Day.
Boringly, I agree.
Of course it's going to be New Day.
Yes, unfortunately it is.
However, I do find one thing very, very odd.
And what would that be?
Which is whenever they mention New Day, they normally have it as Big E, Xavier Woods, or Xavier Woods.
Yes, it is normally all three of them. There is somebody who is a member of the New Day and noticeable by his absence from this list, which suggests possibly appearance further on up the discussion and indeed the card.
Possibly, but
I think you know who we're talking about, but let's not mention him for now.
Let's not mention it for now.
Yeah,
but
the
anyway,
other match on the pre-show, Rey Mysterio versus Andrade, formerly Cien Almas.
So essentially, we have gone for New Day.
We have gone for New Day on that one, yes.
New Day. Right, I'm just making note of them so we can actually.
That's cool.
So we can actually get back to
the next match is Rey Mysterio versus Andrade. While Mr. Matt Burns makes a note of our predictions, so that we have it in black and white, how embarrassingly badly I did and how well he did for next week's podcast. But next we have previous generation Mexican hero to the kids in mask versus latest generation Mexican bad guy not in mask. Reason for fight being, I haven't got a clue, but I'm sure Mr. Matt Burns can fill me in.
They've just built a hatred up. Andrade thinks that Rey Mysterio should move on, and that he's past it.
Oh, right, okay. I see. Simple as that. Fair enough. Sensible reason for a match. Don't know why it's on the pre-show.
No.
I think...
Right. Incoming warning.
Okay.
You already know what I'm already calling right now, don't you?
Uh-oh. I do.
Get the soapbox!
Burns! Fetch the soapbox!
Good Lord. What the hell are they doing with that? I understand that not every match can be on the main card.
Yes.
Right? One of the matches I'm shocked isn't on the pre-show, but delighted it is. But for that to happen, they've had to downgrade Rey Mysterio and Andrade, who have been having absolutely stellar matches, absolutely brilliant, bringing ratings up for SmackDown.
Entertainment, as you'd expect from SmackDown, yeah. And it's on the pre-show. No, I don't understand that either. It makes no sense to me.
It's just... Why?
I can think of at least one match that they could put on the pre-show instead, let's be honest. But let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
Anyway, so for that match, I know nothing about the build-up or what's been happening. So my darkness prediction is Andrade to win to set up the rematch at WrestleMania, which Rey wins.
I'll go with Andrade because I can see Mysterio wanting to push more, so like passing on the torch.
Yeah, okay, I can also go with that. Possibly to set up an attempted rematch at WrestleMania, which Andrade wins again. Who knows?
What is going on?
Possibly.
Again? What is going on again with our predictions?
Oh, what? Because we agree on everything. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm not sure that I like it.
I know. I'm finding it unusual.
Yes.
But anyway.
Okay.
Let's continue.
Right. Yeah, we shall continue. Now, I'm going to move around a little bit here based on not necessarily the order I think that they're going to be in front of me, but the order I think they're going to appear on the card.
Okay.
Tell me if you disagree.
I'm pretty sure that I think you're more likely avoiding it, so it's probably getting me to minimize, spread out me soapboxes.
Yes, possibly. But I think that the opening match of the card may very well be the tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The rematch between the Usos and the former champions, The Miz and Shane McMahon.
Yes, which supposedly this match shouldn't have taken place, as supposedly the era of instant rematch clauses were gone.
Unless your name is McMahon.
Correct.
But I think this match will be the card opener because, well, it wasn't that great last time out, apart from the shock result, which no one expected. We certainly didn't.
We didn't, but it seems to be developing for something else, but we'll have to wait and see what it develops into.
Yeah.
But as much as I can turn around and say, I could, I'd it be a feel-good moment again for Miz and Shane win it again. You don't want to be burying the Usos, who have been a dominant force on SmackDown, have been a top tier tag team.
I see. So are you going for the Usos to retain?
I am.
Good, because that means we disagree for once.
Woo!
I am going to go for the Miz and Shane to win again and retain the titles to set up the rematch at WrestleMania, at which the Usos once again regain the titles and get themselves a WrestleMania moment.
Right. What, by beating the boss's son?
Well, by winning the tag team titles at WrestleMania and also doing that, yes.
I can't see that happening.
Well,
I just
that's
can't.
the way I'm going. But fair enough, good. We disagree. At least that makes for a bit of fun in the predictions.
There we go. And what do you think the next match is going to be?
Based on the card, I think the next match will be the singles match for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Which will be
Pitting
Asuka versus
Asuka
Mandy Rose.
Against the wrong one. The member of that team
I'm sorry, but
isn't Sonya Deville.
This supposed is meant to be a feud, doesn't it? Doesn't even look like a feud. It just seems a bit. It seems
a
rushed.
little
It seems too
subpar,
little. Seems
rushed.
forced.
Yeah.
Seems very rushed. We all know what it's really all about.
Which is basically shit. Asuka's the women's champion on SmackDown. We're supposed to be doing the women's revolution, and she wasn't even on the last pay-per-view. Throw her in something quick.
And the fact that they haven't just thrown her in something quick, it just seems very rushed. And
yeah,
the only way I can see this is happening is Asuka.
Both girls are very competent, and it's not like a sort of post-Attitude Era or even Attitude Era women's match where you're like bathroom break time. They both know what they're doing. It's just that I don't think anyone cares. I think Asuka will retain.
Asuka will retain, and both of them are talented. Asuka especially. I just feel as though with this, it just seems like it's just been massively shoehorned in. And
a little bit.
I wouldn't mind it, especially with the fact that didn't Mandy Rose at one point be feuding with somebody else recently?
Yes.
What happened with that?
But let's, like WWE hope we will, gloss over that because it was obviously not intended to go anywhere.
Or I think it is. Honestly,
go on.
I think they got in trouble with a network or with a sponsor. How dare you run that sort of thing? Okay, we'll just drop it.
It's possible. That sort of thing has happened before. It's entirely possible. But anyway, we're both going for Asuka to retain for that one,
correct. Asuka to retain.
That's pretty cool. Okay. Now, I wasn't sure if this would be the match I'm going to go for next, or if I was going to say it would open the card. But are you ready? Soapbox is at the ready for the triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
Oh, good Lord.
Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Are they officially called Team Glorious, or is that just me? Anyway, them versus Ricochet and Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Versus the really, really horribly mistreated tag team champions, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, The Revival, #FTR.
Do you know how this match come about?
Burns, get the soapbox. No, I don't, but I have a feeling that you're going to tell me, and it's going to lead into you telling us how you really feel.
It's just going to be coming out because I feel as though since they've had this reign, they have been mistreated, mismanaged. Yay, we'll give you the title, but we're going to treat you like garbage while you got the title.
Yeah, we're basically not going to treat you any better. You're just going to get a couple of big gold props.
right, they are meant to be the pinnacle freaking tag team on Raw.
Which means, as Raw is unofficially the A brand, the pinnacle tag team in WWE.
You know, and I'll quote the Revival, top guys.
Yes. Not being treated like it. Like I said, the titles are being treated as big, shiny gold props that mean nothing. And frankly, I'm as annoyed with it as you are.
I wouldn't mind. I understand,
guys.
I understand that when B-Team had them, it was a bit of a joke.
Yeah, the whole idea with that was nobody expected the B-Team to win. It was a feel-good story when they did. And, yeah, they had a short run and they did well, but it was all a bit of fun. The thing is, the Revival aren't B-Team. They aren't two guys that found themselves thrown together and became a tag team because they had nothing else to do. They are, since day one, a dedicated tag team, and, sorry to get on my high horse here, but a bloody good one.
Damn right.
And they deserve being treated better than this, especially bearing in mind that although the crowd loved them and they've got over and they've earned their place, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode were a thrown-together tag team, and possibly the absolute current epitome of thrown-together tag teams in WWE right now is Aleister Black and Ricochet.
Because they have nothing in common.
That's their two opponents. They just happen to both be faces who had nothing else to do. Or at least had nothing else to do until they threw them on the main roster. They were actually doing things in NXT.
Supposedly,
never mind
Aleister Black and Ricochet are in the spot that they are is because of the injury to do with Tommaso Ciampa.
So Ciampa, yeah, because otherwise DIY would be in that slot. Them having pinned the tag team champions on Raw a couple of weeks ago. That would make sense.
Yes. But then, how the hell did Chad Gable and Bobby Roode get involved?
I don't know, but I've got a feeling you're going to tell me, and I've got a feeling it involves copious soapbox.
The Revival won a match last week on Raw.
Stone the Crows, they won a match?
Yeah. In the worst way.
All right? In the worst way?
Yeah.
It was a triple threat tag team match, and both the opposition teams were brawling on the outside and got counted out?
No, it was the Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet, and they won by disqualification.
Interesting. The heels won because the faces got disqualified. Okay, WWE, whatever.
Because Chad Gable and Bobby Roode attacked the Revival.
Oh, the heels won because the faces got disqualified because more faces attacked the heels. This just gets shittier and shittier.
Unless they are thinking of turning Chad Gable and Bobby Roode heel. What the hell?
Yeah, that makes less than no sense. It really does. So, speaking of making less than no sense, that leads us nicely into our next match. But first, actually, hold on, we need a prediction for this.
I was about to say, yeah.
What are you going for?
I'm praying.
You're praying that the Revival retain, aren't you?
I'm praying that, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to go with the Revival as much as I feel as though the only reason why they are the tag team champions is because they want to keep them away from AEW because they've been unhappy.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure eventually that all this is them losing as even though they are tag team champions, it's just going to upset them even more.
Yeah.
And probably just say, you know what, we're not bothered. We are your tag team champs. We're out.
Yeah, pretty much. Top guys out.
Pretty much. Which then...
So, yeah, I'm thinking that the Revival will retain purely because, they want to keep them on their good side. I can obviously see Aleister Black and Ricochet winning just because WWE like messing with us. But, no, I'm going to go with the Revival as well.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We're hoping.
Right, speaking, as I was briefly then, of making no sense, don't put that soapbox away yet.
Oh, no.
Because the next match on the card is Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch in a singles match, where if Becky Lynch wins, she gets what is rightfully hers anyway for winning the Royal Rumble. Namely, she'll be added back in to the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania.
You know the match that Charlotte Flair got put in because she's a freaking Flair. Sorry.
Yes, and because WWE can't actually bear
and because,
it when people get over on their own.
And because...
like Becky Lynch did.
And supposedly because of Vince McMahon being, wanting to put Flair in and supposedly going mad. And are you ready for this?
I'm sat down, so that's a good start.
Brace yourself.
I am braced.
Do you know why they have supposedly set up the triple threat?
Because of Ronda Rousey.
Nope.
And because of her leaving the title in the ring and then coming back and going, I want the title back, but on this condition, and pretending that she's the boss.
No.
Well, that was preposterous enough. You mean it's worse than that?
The supposed reason why they've done it this way is because essentially they wanted a main event match regardless of if Becky got injured.
So moderately sensible.
They've then got Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. If Charlotte got injured, they've then got Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. If Ronda Rousey somehow got injured, they've then got Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch.
I see why they've done that. However, why did they not just leave it as Ronda versus Becky and,
They still wanted to have that banner idea.
Yeah, rather than disqualify Becky Lynch and throw Charlotte Flair in there, why not have her earn her place over the, since the Royal Rumble on Raw. Sorry, are they on Raw? No, they're on SmackDown, aren't they?
Ew.
No, Raw. Yeah, have Charlotte Flair earn her place by...
No, Charlotte Flair was originally SmackDown.
Yeah, this is what makes no sense. But anyway, have Charlotte attack both Ronda and Becky repeatedly, like they've now had Becky do to the other two, until they both go, look, what do you want? And she goes, put me in the match. And so the managers go, bend over backwards. Okay, you're a Flair, we'll put you in. That would have made moderately more sense, but
no. He just goes,
no.
Oh, you've got...
Well, unfortunately, I think we're going to agree on this one.
It's just stupid.
But Becky has to win.
Becky has to win. If she doesn't win, it's just... It's now getting stupid, and what makes it so really, really ridiculous is because of the whole dynamic of that storyline, is then you have got... They had a top match marquee.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Who's on board's better?
Exactly. That was a good enough selling point for WrestleMania. It really was.
Right?
Charlotte
wait.
Involved.
That's it. Job done.
I know. And on top of that, for those who are sitting at home going, well, what about Charlotte? She, lest we forget, has a natural rivalry with Asuka. Oh, who WWE seems to have forgotten is carrying the Blue Women's title, which Charlotte could quite happily have fought Asuka for at WrestleMania. And that would have been perfect. There would have been no need for any other build-up than that.
Seeing as she beat
Asuka.
Asuka.
She ended Asuka's nearly 3-year undefeated streak. That would have been a perfect build-up as well.
Yeah.
But, hey, WWE, who needs logic?
It gets worse. It actually gets worse because when you actually think about it, take into account what has actually happened in regards to that entire feud. They had some words. Becky somehow lost the championship. She then, Ronda cost Becky her championship.
Yes.
Becky sneaked in to the Royal Rumble, won the Rumble to face Ronnie, as she states.
Yeah.
We've got the match there. That's all you need to freaking do.
Yeah, you know this. I know this. Uncle Tom Cobley and all bloody knows this, but apparently Vince McMahon doesn't.
Within less than...
So what can you do?
In less than a freaking month, or so many weeks, we've had... Becky Lynch...
McMahon has spent so long...
We have had Becky Lynch...
Sticks.
We've had Becky Lynch arguing with management. We've had Becky Lynch being being suspended, rehired, suspended, rehired, replaced. Then from that, injured. Then from injured, having to get the notes, getting it back on, doing this, doing that, jumping through this, jumping through that. Now rehired, now possibly fighting Charlotte for the title. Then coming back, then you've got supposedly Ronnie, who supposedly vacated the title, then come back, ordered that it's my title. I placed it in the ring, not for you to give my title away, to think about it as it's my title. Put her back in, and not put her back in and leave me out. Blah blah blah, and then to top it all off, turn Ronda Rousey heel.
Yes, I know. What a carry on.
They could have just turned a heel.
Yes.
The moment she robbed Becky Lynch of the title, of her title.
Yes.
There and
would have made life easier for everyone.
And then to make matters worse, you've now supposedly got WWE management upset with Ronda Rousey in regards to her recent actions on YouTube, with her blatantly stating that wrestling is fake.
Yeah, it just... To misquote Scroobius Pip in one of his songs, to sum this whole sorry charade up, throw enough shit at the wall to see what'll stick, and you might get what you want, but it doesn't change the fact your wall's still covered in shit.
It's like... And what makes it worse is, people don't know if this is an actual shoot, or if this is WWE telling her what to say to pretend it's a shoot.
I assume that goes up to and including Vince McMahon, because I get the sense he doesn't have an actual clue what's going on here.
But this is going out on her YouTube channel,
which WWE probably wants, but she probably didn't give them control over, so there's not a great deal they can do.
Oops.
Anyway,
it's just gone from bad to worse.
And as if that wasn't bad enough, ladies and gentlemen, the soapbox is not going away yet. Because the next match on the card...
Hang on. We have stated who, but it's just... What the hell?
It shouldn't need to happen, but anyway, yeah, the soapboxes ain't going away yet, because the next match...
All I'll say is, because of speed up and everything, we will be moving on. However, I will just state, originally, if everybody were listening to us last week, we were originally meant to be talking about wrestle crap this week. Originally, I'm pretty sure that entire segment, what was just pulled out of our rear ends, just trying to discuss.
Sure that the whole Charlotte versus Becky versus Ronda segment fits in that website like a glove.
It's just, what WWE have done? They have fumbled a top quality feud that could have been.
Basically, what it is somebody has handed Vince McMahon a large wheeled suitcase full of $100 bills, and unsure what to do with it, Vince McMahon has set it on fire.
Yeah. By let's just saying, I'll put this into a bank account that a foreign email, that a spam email has been sent to me to.
Yes. What this whole sorry situation is rhymes with fustercluck.
Oh no, I'm sorry, but no, this is bad enough. I understand. Let me just state this. We do actually have a schedule warning, and we do actually do this after the watershed, and it's very rare that I actually say this myself. Let's just say it's an absolute clusterfuck.
Won't catch me disagreeing.
And you full well know it's very rare that I'll actually just call it that. Or
it's
even
rare
actually state
that you will use language like that, but hey, it's thoroughly deserved in this case.
God damn, it's just bad.
Right, moving swiftly on, because as I said, the soapbox isn't going to get put away yet, because the next match is...
All I'll say to you is we will get back to the whole Ronda feud, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch next week.
Yeah, I think it needs a whole
I'm not done with
show
that.
of its own, possibly.
It's going to have an whole show, yeah.
But
it's got to.
Up next, a six-man tag team match pitting Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre. Well, it's basically a seven-man tag team match. 6.5. Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and even though he hates him, Bobby Lashley's little flying midget, Lio Rush, against, apparently...
And isn't Elias a part of that group or something?
Allegedly, for the last time ever. Why? Is Dean Ambrose genuinely leaving? Because I've heard not, and if so, why is this the last time ever?
Don't get me started, don't get me started.
Jeez,
oh my God.
H Christ. Yeah, but...
This has been labelled
it's the Shield in a six-man tag team match. It can't go wrong.
Are you ready for this?
Go on.
They already have, before the match has even happened.
God above, how?
It's been revealed that supposedly on the last day that Dean Ambrose is meant to be scheduled for his contract at another venue, which is a house show, they're redoing this match.
What, on the day that he's supposed to be renewing his contract?
On the day that he's either leaving or renewing.
Okay.
The last show date.
Oh, sweet merciful Jesus.
So it's now. So the original tagline for this being the final ride together is not the final ride together, and taking
not even slightly.
Dean Ambrose's contract doesn't end until the end of April, so we've actually got a few dates after WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yes. Which is don't even get me started. Plus, didn't Baron Corbin and friends have a rather antagonistic outing with a certain Braun Strowman in the last show? And where's he in all of this?
Oh, getting upset with celebrities.
Oh, right, okay. He's not, like, spit roasting Lio Rush, is he? Shit, I've just realised how that sounded. What I mean is shoving a stick up his ass and cooking him on an open fire. Shit, I've put my foot in it there, haven't I? I meant, like, barbecuing him because he's hungry and Lio Rush is small. I'm just going to stop talking now, which is ironic because Matt Burns is pissing himself laughing. So you may get a few minutes of awkward silence.
I'm sorry. That was just, oh, good Lord. Where did that come from?
You know when you think something and you think, yeah, that's fantastic. And then you
just say it.
And then you hear how it sounds and then you're like, no, I didn't mean that at all. Oh my God, what have I said? It's too late. It's recorded. I'm done.
Oh, that's just gold. That's just gold. But yeah.
Anyway, the point is, Lio Rush is an annoying mayfly that needs to be swatted. Why doesn't Braun Strowman just eat him and have done with it?
Right.
And will either of them get involved in this match? Probably. Will the Shield win? Probably. That's what I'm going for. But my God.
We know what's going to happen here.
Cluck of the evening.
We know what's going to happen here.
Yes, but we need to get a crack on because the main event, the pre-show has actually already started.
Yeah, the Shield will be going over. I'm predicting.
The Shield will be going over. Unfortunately, we are agreeing, but only because it's the only common sense answer.
It's got to be. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep pushing on.
The last non-controversial match of the night, which is the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Nia Jax and Tamina versus Bayley and Sasha Banks.
Right. Clean, beautiful. Like our conceit. It's telling the story, the Boss and Hook connection. They're working as a tag team. Nia Jax and Tamina. They're angry they didn't win it in the Elimination Chamber to become the first ever Women's Tag Team Championship. Clean cut. Nothing more can be said. It's basically building it up, which I can potentially see in this being continued on to WrestleMania. However, I think that being being the inaugural champions, it will be the Boss and Hook connection winning against Nia Jax and Tamina.
I comprehensively agree. There's not a great deal more that needs to be said.
Right.
However, it will be a great match.
It will be, and we are having to speed this up because with the actual event actually occurring potentially as we're speaking.
Well, the pre-show has started.
Which, if anybody is actually interested, you can actually watch that either on the WWE Network for just $9.99, first month free, or you can actually be watching that on YouTube.
Sign up now, and if you sign up now for your first month, it is a 1 month free trial.
Woohoo!
Rock and roll. I'm not sure what day is WrestleMania. Is WrestleMania like the 7th of April? Because the point is, if it is, it's within a month of now. So if you sign up now for your free trial, you may get WrestleMania for free. That's my point.
What's the date?
Today it's the 10th, isn't it?
10th. Yes, you will get WrestleMania now. Because
you will get WrestleMania
7th.
now for free if you sign up for your free trial now.
Because WrestleMania is April 7th.
How could you possibly resist that?
One more. Do it.
Get it done. If unlike myself and Matt Burns, and you don't already have the WWE Network, what are you waiting for?
Correct. And let me just state this as well. Vince McMahon, please sign the checks to The Burning Truth.
Yes, please do.
Right. That is to Matt Burns and John Belaw.
And also, please make them considerably more than $9.99, if you don't mind.
Definitely.
Right, okay, one match to go. What will probably be the main event.
Which it will be the main event, which is Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens.
Again, a whole host of soapbox issues there with why it's not Kofi Kingston, but I don't think we've got time to go into that. We might have to leave it for next week.
Potentially, we actually covered a bit of this the previous week, which I actually think that Kofi Kingston is going to be more likely fighting whoever is the champion at WrestleMania, so we can have a hashtag Kofi Mania and go from there.
Indeed, I think that's looking more likely.
Yeah,
one thing for sure.
Go on.
No, go on. I was going to say one thing for sure. It's going to be a great match because neither of these guys know how to have a bad match, so it's going to be an absolute classic. But yeah, I think the champ's going to retain.
Daniel Bryan's retaining, as much as a lot of people might think. As much as I know, everyone's thinking, but he's just come back from injury. Yeah, the thing is, a loss to Kevin Owens is not going to exactly damage him. It's, the fact is he came back pinning Daniel Bryan. And yes. I feel as though the way Daniel Bryan has been, and that on paper, you've got Kevin Owens, who is the everyman. Being the everyman. Him winning it now, and then facing Kofi, wouldn't make sense, because then you've got the everyman against Kofi, who was taken out of the match. It would be entertaining. It would be still entertaining. But it doesn't. That's not going to be, the big money maker for the WWE Championship. What is going to be the big money maker is Daniel Bryan winning and turning around and saying, "There is nobody good enough to beat me." Kofi.
At which point,
Kofi can make a case.
Kofi can come out and go, "Well, the run up to Elimination Chamber, I pinned you, sunshine." So
I pinned you. I I ended up, getting last with you in the Elimination Chamber. I've pinned you again after Elimination Chamber. I was originally scheduled to face you at Fastlane, and somehow you got protected by management who thought it was deemed worthy that I wasn't good enough, even though I had actually pinned you. Face the music.
Yeah, exactly.
Face the music.
So that pretty much wraps up how we feel. We both feel that Daniel Bryan will retain.
Hang on.
But Fastlane, as a pay-per-view, features neither Samoa Joe nor AJ Styles. How does that work?
What
that was
the
point
hell?
I was going to make. How have they managed that?
I've only just noticed that. They've gone from having Samoa Joe, who is the US champion, not on the show, and the guy who is the man who runs the place. However,
you could argue
it could be
that this is the show of people who aren't there.
It could be that AJ's possibly getting himself ready for WrestleMania and probably having some time off. Possibly, if he's got any injuries or if he's got anything that he wants to sort out, he's getting them all sorted and ready so he can be ready for WrestleMania.
Samoa Joe isn't there. AJ Styles isn't there. Braun Strowman isn't there.
However, there is two speculations.
There
is two speculations.
And what would they be?
The only two changes I can actually predict and expect to come out of nowhere and catch everybody off guard
would be
if Undertaker turned up.
Massively unexpected, but not impossible.
It's not impossible, that it isn't. However, there's also
and the
another
other
speculation.
Option would be
a possible return
for
Bray Wyatt.
Again, highly unlikely, but far from impossible.
Which would be very, very interesting either way.
Absolutely. It certainly would.
It would. That would interest me because that would then possibly say, is he actually teaming up with Daniel Bryan? Is he going to be coming into under his faction?
It could well be. Who knows?
But
that's all speculation to come.
That is all speculation to come, and we've got, luckily enough, you get to go off and possibly, start you watching it of Fastlane now. I, on the other hand, have got catch me breath and get ready. Now, a lot of people may have noticed that we haven't done much for British wrestling this week. We do apologise for that. That is normally going to be the content and everything. There was going to be more discussion of it in regards to UKWA as and everything. But unfortunately for this week, because of time constraints, we are going to be trying to see if we can squeeze it all in next week. If not, we will try. We will get it in as soon as possible. But anyway, with that. All the news that we wanted to cover for this week has been covered, and now we're going to go on to plugs, which straight away I'm just going to be covering right now. UKWA, also known as UK Wrestling Alliance, please check that out on social media. Please check, and the website, of course. Please check out UKWM, also known as UK Wrestling Media, to do absolutely fantastic photography work, and they also do some absolute great video work as well. Please check out Manchester Pro Wrestling Academy, as their beginner classes are on Monday, £10 per class, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m, which if anybody's looking for location of their show, please check it out, which is, which you can find that out on the social media, which is most likely on Facebook. Please check out JT Printing and Stitching. They do absolutely fantastic work, especially with t-shirts, polo shirts and everything. They do great custom work. We recommend you check out places like, charities like Mind, Changes UK, also known as Health and Wellbeing. The information that they can prove useful on their website, it could end up, you could end up helping yourself, or more importantly, end up helping somebody else, and the information could end up actually saving someone's life, potentially. As much as that sounds very, very serious, it can be, depending on the situation, but the information is there for everybody to grab. And if anybody wants the website, please check out. I'm trying to. I believe it was changesuk.org. So I will, hopefully there is an actual link on in regards to that on the Burning Truth, because I believe a member of the Changes actually should give a bit of a shout out in regards to Changes Radio, which is for health and well-being, which is going to be a new thing coming in, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Please check out Team 4 Star as with their their usual Dragon Ball Z Bridge series. Please check out bands like New Breed, Carmen's, of course, like the band I mentioned last week, Blackpool. And please check out, as always, Botchamania. You're welcome, Matthew. He's always doing great content. Please check out YouTubers, Philip DeFranco, TikToker When Fandom Strikes, but she also has her own YouTube page as well. Please check out Luke Moto, who also does plenty of vlogging. And of course, please check out the podcast Geek of the Week, which actually has one person on there who I'm pretty sure that both of us know, which is Magic Mark
Adams. Fantastic. Is that everything?
Amazing guy. And of course, please check out Turnbuckle TV as always, because that does have some great wrestling content. Please check out all local wrestling shows, just some examples like United Wrestling Academy for Pro Wrestling, FCW, Fusion Pro Wrestling for You, and many, many others. Please check out the Burning Truth website, which is, I believe, the www.theburningtruthuk.com, where it could be potentially where you're listening to this broadcast live. It's also where you can listen to past broadcasts. You can also be listening to past interviews, show reviews, show reviews as in audio and written. There's also a merchandise page. We get some snazzy t-shirts and office mugs that make great presents. There is a blog page. Unfortunately, it's on an absolute hiatus at the moment. Contact page, links, and of course social media. Please check out our social media, which is Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course Twitter. The Twitter one's a little bit different, which is spelled WRESLING4THLLWALL. And of course, we do actually have some past episodes on Spotify as well. However, just an interesting side note, I have actually got a TBT interview, being edited currently at the moment. So that is going to be getting released at a later date. So just to give a bit of a heads up on regards to that, but I might be just to make everyone aware. That one might not be coming out straight away because we don't want to be getting that content out in one, as much as we want to get it out as soon as possible, we want to be able to build up some TBT interviews, build up some much more content for it. So when we are releasing this, we do actually have more of a scheduled process and be able to get it to the point where we've got that many of them. We've got plenty enough time to get new ones to build up onto the next onto once.
What about a good archive of material? Totally understandable.
Exactly, building it up, making it more presentable, more relatable, and keeping it going. But as of course I've always thank you very much for that quick rant in regard. I wouldn't say rant, that quick burst through the plugs because we want you to get to watch WWE Fastlane. Go check it out.
The kickoff. Don't be put off by the fact that the Iconics are currently on the kickoff show. They'll be gone in a minute. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
You did just a little bit.
Never mind.
And in regards to next week, we will be potentially discussing our personal thoughts on the whole Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte feud. We are going to be talking about some wrestle crap. And is there anything else you want to cover?
And I'm thinking the state of the Becky saga, the state of the what was the other thing? Oh yeah, The other thing that was making us get on a soapbox is on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it now.
Oh, you mean how badly they're treating the revival? Definitely.
Yeah. Plus a bit of wrestle crap and anything else that comes up in the meantime.
And of course, we will be potentially discussing some interesting news in regards to British wrestling, of course. Which means, yes, I understand this might sound biased. There will be some more interesting news in regards to UK Wrestling Alliance.
Indeed.
So with that said, thank you very much for listening to us this week. We'll hopefully catch you next week. And of course, we all, both myself, John Bloor, and the Burning Truth, everyone at the Burning Truth, wish everybody to stay well, stay safe, and as of course, please, always check out your local wrestling. Until next week, catch you later.
Thank you very much. Enjoy Fastlane and good night.
Bye-bye. Good night and enjoy Fastlane.
Ta-ta. Bye-bye.